You're good.
Cool.
We are live. You are good. My name's RJ. This is my first fall tour show recap.
Mine
And
too.
Brad's too. Everybody say hi to Brad.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Brad. So we're gonna wait for a couple people to arrive here. Brad, what is going on with you? And how was the show last night? Before we get into it, did you guys have fun? Everything good?
Yeah, it was great, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah,
I'm dealing with some children.
you're solo parenting. I know that much.
So solo. It's solo as heck. I'm gonna text our I'm gonna text our friends who we text with and say, if you want to see me and Brad talk about fish, check it out. Okay, see, this is pro stuff, guys. All right, so we're gonna just let a few people show up and then we'll get started. How's the
Yes.
weather out there today, Brad?
It's beautiful, RJ. This is the time of year, and I'm sure people who went to the show last night experienced it as well.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just a. Is it like
it can be
what was
warm during the
what
day.
was the temperature yesterday?
I think the high was near 90, which is hot, but not hot out here, right? Because it
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
But then, this time of year it cools down at night, which is
yeah,
important.
yeah. It is. Are you recovered from the show, or are you currently recovering?
Yeah, I'd say it's an ongoing process still.
um, all right. So, Brad, I guess I first want to ask. I know that this was your first show for your kids, right?
Yeah, 8 and
What was that
11,
like?
and they both have experienced a lot of fish in the house, but not
Yeah,
in person. It was good, man.
yeah,
It's stressful. Um, a little bit of extra stress, especially we had seats, really good seats, right next to the Corota and the Tapers,
nice,
so perfect
nice.
location. But it was crowded, and they got a little overwhelmed to start. But I think that's a pretty normal feeling when you
Yeah,
delve
definitely,
down into it. So
definitely. Yeah,
once they got comfortable and we all got comfortable, it was nice. It was really nice.
yeah. Did you guys hang out outside at all with them?
No, we got there. I mean, we got there at 7:10, 7:15,
Oh wow,
and we were late. It took us an hour to get into the venue, at least.
got it.
The line was
Because of
super inefficient. They have
because
two
of
entry points.
because of
Yeah.
checking,
No, I
because of
mean,
the
yeah, they were a little more. I feel like because it was Live Nation, they were a little more thorough with the whole
yeah,
situation.
yeah,
And the line was not moving as quickly as it could have. But
yeah,
again, there's also two entrances, and that's it. So
yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Well, okay, so let's get into it. The I should say, as we always say, that this is brought to you by Shift Genuine Cannabis. Thanks, Shift. So Brad, what was it like for you to go to your first show? I guess your first show in a really long time, right?
well, I went to Dick's
Oh yeah, you went to
over
Dick's.
over Labor Day, but that was my first show in a long time. So
Where,
it
yeah,
was
I
nice.
forgot you. Yeah,
I
we were at
hadn't
Dick's.
been the huge difference though. Dick's with like the outdoor arena stadium sort of thing,
Yeah,
right? Compared to a pretty traditional generic news shed um,
yeah,
that this place Live Nation now owns.
yeah,
It's nice. It was so awesome to be back down tight in a pavilion.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it was crowded and it was great, man. Everything you'd ever
So
want.
so you went in with your kids, and they're 8 and 11, and were they really bored by the line? Were they like, are we really going to stand in line for an hour? And then
No,
once they got like, or were they excited?
yeah, that was still like excitement was still buzzing.
Yeah.
I taught them the lesson of you go the opposite direction of the hiss, the
Uh
tanks, right? You hear that
huh.
noise? You go the
That's
opposite direction.
probably a good idea.
Um, yeah,
Um,
uh,
and
yeah,
you said they got a little overwhelmed at first, just like noise and lights, or
yeah. Lights, down in the meat of the shed there, the heart of it. Um, Lights are intense,
yeah,
crowds loud and tight, and that was just a start. But
Yeah.
again, they got comfortable. We all found our little spot, and
Yeah.
it was good.
How did the first set go? What was your take on that first set? And what were your
You know,
highlights?
I'm a huge Julius guy. I love it, and it's
Yeah.
open. And of course, we missed the front half of it um, because of the line. So, but I thought it was a great. It was a hot start.
Yeah.
Julius is
Yeah.
fun always.
First
Martian
one
Monster.
since first Julia since 2019, I think. And it was like 9 minutes long. Like everything is 9 minutes long. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool at this point. And the Martian Monster was pretty solid too. It seems like that
yeah.
was seems like pretty high energy from the beginning.
It was funky and groovy to start. I thought. I think Julius helps him with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Soul Planet was 19 minutes long or something. I mean, it was really good. I I thought, and I think this is the second half too, or second set. There, all of that being said, I didn't. There wasn't a smooth arc or transition, to either set. I
Yeah.
don't think it was kind of. Um, each song was well played, but I don't think much flowed. I guess the Soul Planet into the My Friend, as you can with the My Friend opener, or the beginning
Yeah.
of My Friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It transitioned nicely, but yeah. Anyway,
That Soul Planet was like, yeah, you said 18, 19 minutes, which is a great place to start.
mhm.
What was there any point where your kids were like, is this like still actually happening? Or like, what are they
Yeah,
doing? Why aren't they singing? Like, I'm just curious about just like, I feel like at some point they must just be like kind of confused about what's happening.
yeah. It was. I got the "When is this over?"
Uh-huh.
and I thought it was like, or "When is going to be over?" and I
Uh-huh.
thought they were referring to the show. I'm like, I don't 11:30. They're like, no, 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 this song, and I was like, you know, we'll
Hope
find out.
hopefully never.
That was actually during the Son of a Mule, which you know, first of all, I'll say I'll never complain about going to a Fish show, but I don't really want to hear Mule, but a Mule in the first set, all right. Let's if there's going to be a
Yeah.
Son of a Mule, let's do it in the first set.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'll
I
also
think that's fair.
say the bouncing, the Mule, the More made it a
Mhm.
very family friendly first set as well. A
Yeah.
lot of energy, a lot of bouncing, a lot of
Yeah.
antics. So
Yeah. Hey, and Bouncin' is such a great
it
it's a
really
great
is.
song. But yeah, that's like a pretty good one to to have your kids hear.
My wife Kylie, who doesn't see, I mean, her last show was December '97. Um, she knew a lot of the songs in the first set. So again, I thought it was great, and she had a great time. I'll also say, RJ, that Jeff
Yes.
Meister was with us.
Oh,
Our friend
nice.
Jeff, yeah, our great friend Jeff Meister from
Yeah, awesome.
elementary school. His last show was 12/6/97. I had to remind him
Wow.
of this. Yeah,
Wow.
and I had to say that's a big deal, Jeff, and he's just
Yeah, it's a
didn't.
big gap.
So, but he had a great time. His wife too, Krista, and it was a really a family affair, get together. Old friends. Had
Yeah.
another friend who's never seen Fish before, a
Mhm.
local dad friend, my best dad friend. We both um, like to expose each other to each other's music, and so he got to
Yeah,
come see Fish, and he had a great time too.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Soul Planet was pretty sweet to kick off, what third song. What do you
Oh
think of
yeah.
that jam and how did that land in the place? Like, do you think people are just expecting 20-minute jams early on?
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like in there?
Yeah. I told my family walking in, I said, listen, there's going to be at least one or two 20-minute jams coming, so
Mhm.
just be ready for them. And we got two of them. Well,
Yeah.
almost, but I thought, um, as I described to my dad friend Tristan, they find the pocket so easily right now, and I really feel like the grooves are kind of old school. They kind of remind me of older 1.0 Fish. They get there so easily, and another reason that Soul Planet at least kind of took me back to 1.0 as well, because Trey's really doing that kind of couple riff, kind of just um, playing on that, jamming on that, riffing on that, like
Yeah.
he used to, right back in
Yeah.
the late '90s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's it was a good jam up front, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I think people are like want jams from old songs, but I think it kind of works no matter what.
It's sweet that it's anything at this point, right? Like I
Yeah.
thought that Loving Cup went a little. We're not there yet, but that Loving Cup
Yeah.
was even 8 minutes long, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was, oh, this might go 20 minutes. Who knows? Let's do it,
Yeah, it's crazy.
right?
Yeah, the ghost at the end of the first set was pretty cool. They came back to Julius at the end. So set break. What was going on at set break with you guys, and how was the family feeling, and how were you feeling?
Ghost was really tame to close the second set.
Hmm.
I wasn't sure if it was going to close the second set, right? I thought maybe we'd get another rager. But no, it closed really nicely, and yeah, back into Julius was fun. We then sprinted to the top of the lawn from, you know, next to the tapers just to get some
Yeah,
air and let the kids
yeah,
run around a bit.
yeah,
Got some waters. Yeah, it was
yeah.
fun.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
That's awesome. And did you stay up there, or did they? I think you said they stayed up there, right?
Yeah, for like the first half of the second set, and then my wife, to her credit, Kylie, brought the girls and back down and found us in the middle of the taper section, so we could watch the uh last three or
Nice,
four songs of the second set. Yeah,
nice,
it was really cool.
awesome. So you got to kind of like kick back a little bit in the second set.
Exactly. I got the first half of the second set was all mine. Just me and a couple friends, and
Yeah,
didn't have to worry about the girls, which was again nice of my wife to take that on.
yeah. And the loving cup. This is sort of follows the pattern of that they do sometimes, where they open up the second set with a song like not a jam, and then get into something more serious.
It's it
The
they're it's everything's kind of flipped on its head. It's been recently, right? I mean, with these second set or set closers like Loving Cup opening the set.
Yeah,
First time since '94 I saw that. I assumed they hadn't opened a set with Loving Cup, but they did back in '94.
that's amazing. Yeah,
Mm.
there's like a lot of first set openers, but I guess yeah, that's crazy. So they continue to kind of mix up the set list and not really do things according to how they typically do it.
Yeah.
And then another second set where like almost all of it was arrows, right? There's like not a lot of stopping even with a couple slow songs. But how was the Mike's groove?
I mean, a proper Mike's groove like that was a absolute treat. Obviously, I thought the
Yeah.
Mike's itself, 9 minutes could have gone deeper, but it was good enough, for sure. And then the hydrogen was really well played, really quiet. Um, my friend who'd never seen Fish before commented on the quietness of the crowd
Hmm.
during that hydrogen
Hmm.
and how everybody
That's cool.
was letting it breathe. And Trey was patient and delicate. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. I think like when they start anything now in the second set, especially with just the way they're doing these jams now, you just expect it to be 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like you expect everything to be
yeah.
20 minutes.
The
Um,
right, the Weekapog, the traditional Mike's groove was such a treat, and I didn't expect the Weekapog then to go too deep. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, this is kind of they're doing this, and then we're gonna get another big jam, and
yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But the Weekapog mentioned started great, kind of a slow. The tempo to me was slow, and it didn't really take off, but it didn't need to. You know what I mean? They can
Yeah.
find those nice, relaxed, laid back grooves.
Yeah, that's happening a lot, I guess, with some of these. And I think a couple of the shows so far, the first night of Eugene, maybe that was the one that seemed to be the most like everything was kind of more like slow tempo, mid tempo.
Hmm.
But well, we got to talk about this. Everything's right because that was
Hmm.
pretty awesome. Our friend Sam, who's watching, says hi, and
Hi, Sam.
he wants to know if you're feeling tired. How are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. It was late. The venue is a good 45 minutes from the house,
Okay,
and we made a very smart decision to not go to bed as soon as we got home. Just a
you gotta reflect.
just a terrible decision. Yeah. So
Good. You got to stay up and reflect. So did you reflect on that? Everything's right. That's pretty monstrous jam. I feel like
Yeah.
the Tab tour had a bunch of those, right? Like everything's right just seems to be a immediate kind of jam vehicle. But was that higher temp? Like, did that feel more energized, or was it more like a
Yeah.
mid tempo's the thing?
No, I mean there were some. It's a bunch of segments that I think they can weave together now. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
long arcing jam for 26 minutes is not really it's not 26 minutes of build, I guess is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Trey's
yeah,
got the toys and the effects that really turns it into segments, and it was really wonderful for sure.
yeah, yeah. There was some point in there, like about 20 minutes into it, where they just kind of like slowed down and almost stopped,
Mhm.
and then went into like a different kind of groove. I thought maybe they were going into something else.
Yeah, that's when you kind of stop dancing and you listen, right?
Yeah,
But no, there
yeah,
was another 6 minutes of kind of that blissy,
yeah,
um,
yeah. What
quietness.
what what did your friend who had never seen them before think about these like 25-minute improv pieces? Like what was the feedback?
He loved it. He's a musician, and I think whether you're a Fish fan or not, you can live like that in person, that close. He was impressed just
Yeah.
by the whole thing. He kept saying, "This is really good. I think I get it." Like he yelled at me a couple times. I was like, "Yes,
That's great.
Dan." Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's kind of all you can hope for.
yeah,
Life Beyond the Dream, Breather there, and then like the late second set cities, like there's like weird placement happening all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Complete surprise. The hood. Yeah, all right. See it coming. Well, you hope it comes, but
Yeah.
in that spot. But the cities just kind of blew me away. Really cool. Um, it also got the after the breather of Life Beyond a Dream, got everybody back up and
Yeah.
so. What's up? I have no idea. Sorry. I love you. Sorry.
Was that one of your kids asking him if they've
Yeah.
seen something
Yeah.
of theirs?
Yes. Yeah. Have you
That's
seen
my
my?
favorite.
No, I haven't.
Whatever you say, no, I don't know where it is. What did you think of the Life Beyond the Dream? I mean, was it just like, and how was the crowd reaction to it? Because I guess this might be the first show in a while for a lot of people who
Yeah.
don't, travel a lot for Fish.
Um. I mean, look, the fourth quarter slump is I don't talk about it, but I you kind of listen to it, and I was afraid of that, but no, it was fine. It was a nice breather, and after 26 minutes of everything's right,
Yeah,
let them kind of do that. Trey loves it, and again, they close out strong.
yeah, yeah. The Hood was really great. I
Yeah,
sang Life Beyond the Dream to my kids this morning in the car, and they didn't like it very
how
much.
was it? No,
No, not really.
the hood was really really good. They're not like they used to be, but that's fine. You don't want them to be, and it's still really well played. And the build, the peak of that hood was just outlandish.
Yeah, it was maybe the best one we've heard in like a couple of years, because sometimes they just kind of run through it, or
Yeah, I thought
I mean
about
most
that.
of the time, right?
Well, you, I think, were the first one to say it, but like, I think at Dick's, the coil, like sometimes a coil or a slave, they kind of it's kind of perfunctory maybe
Yeah,
um
yeah,
nowadays, but the hood wasn't, and it was really
yeah.
great way to end it.
They went into like the kind of minor key jam for a little bit, but it
Hmm.
wasn't too like they got back to kind of the main Hood thing like with
Yeah,
enough time to kind of build it back up. It wasn't like sometimes when they go into that other kind of jam, then they come back to it. It sort of feels like it's like, oh shit, we got to finish this really quick. But it seems like then it kind of built up pretty slowly again.
yeah, that's exactly what I noticed was just a nice patient long build. 15 minutes, I mean, um hoods could be 12 and uh not as good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Length doesn't mean good, but it
Yeah, yeah,
depends.
no,
Right.
I think that's fair. Did you get any were you feeling some good feelings with having your kids there, like being able to see Harry Hood live?
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Yeah,
that's kind of like
I was
it's pretty
squeezing
great.
them. I was squeezing them with the hood for sure. And they were just like, "Okay, we get it."
Like, all right, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, Dad.
Yeah.
We've had enough. Um, and
It
then
was awesome.
kind of old school encore.
Great. I mean, 2 rockers in a row, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and Susie hasn't been played. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I know for sure it hasn't been played in a long time. And the Cavern was solid with the little fun fills and that kind of stuff
Yeah.
from Fishman. It was really rock and roll closers.
What did you think overall, like after waiting to have them come back? What 20 was it 20 years or 18 years since they've been in Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here 15. So and they hadn't been here for 18. So they the whole time I've lived here, they've never been. So this is my first local hometown fish show. Um, I've been to that arena before. Again, I think Jay-Z owns it now, right? Like Live Nation owns it. It's corporate, but it's nice. It's clean. They've updated it.
Yeah.
And it was good.
And the
It
sounds good.
sounds good. The venue's good and clean. Lots of people, lots of staff and friend. It was just a good experience.
Yeah.
So,
Were the lights moving a lot?
you mean the actual rigs himself? Like how
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. I just saw stationary. The
Yeah.
LED strips, also the LED spots or whatever. The
Yeah.
circular one. So
Yeah. So maybe they just weren't able to do the
yeah, I'm guessing the roof wasn't tall enough. It's not a huge, tall stage amphitheater in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do you think after seeing that show, do you think you'll see them again?
with my kids.
Uh, your kids or fish?
Yes,
Do you think you'll see any of them again?
yes, both of them. In fact, I'll see you next week, bro.
Oh my God. Can you
It's only
believe
a
it?
week away. I know.
I'm gonna have to sleep so much. Um, Patrick Nolan, who's watching, said it's good to see Brad again. It is.
Hi,
It's
Patrick.
always good to
Yes.
see Brad.
I saw. Oh, by the way, I saw Brian. Brian and I were literally. We could reach our hands out and touch each other. That's how close
Nice.
we were, like
Did you do that?
unintentionally. Yeah, we
mean-
just touched fingers. No, he was close, and we obviously missed Brinkman today because he usually runs this show. But it was great to see him, and he's on his way to Chula Vista right now.
Yeah. You've been there, right?
I have. Yep.
What's that spot like?
It you could like close your eyes and be in Phoenix or be in
Mhm.
San Diego, and you wouldn't know the difference. It's just like
that's the venue. It's just like a shed.
it's a shed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not ragging on it. It's just a
Yeah.
generic outdoor shed.
Yeah. Where would you place this show personally in like the shows you've seen or in like the tour so far if you've listened to a bunch of the shows?
I think the variety of the set list was incredible. The stuff from all over the place, old, new, in between, rockers. I thought it was a great rock and roll show. I don't, and obviously it's always going to have a special meaning. Having my kids there for the first show, so
that's really cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad you got to do that.
Yeah.
I think with any of these shows, I mean, if there's a one or two like really big unique moments of improv,
Mhm.
that makes the whole thing worthwhile.
Yeah,
know?
it's almost like, well, we are spoiled when we get an 18, 19-minute jam in the first set and then 26 in the second, along with rockers. I mean, they just put on such good shows now. It's like, it's really special. They're really, really tight, as we all expect them to be.
Yeah.
They're just such a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you think about that, just like the Tab tour has I think really given it a lot of I don't know. I feel like it's given us a lot of like variety and a lot of new energy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking last night about the show that I saw in San Francisco had like it was like 5 songs and every song was long. Last night had more songs, but still like an amazing kind of anchor.
Yeah.
I feel like every show this tour so far has had that in one way or another, even if it's 15 minutes instead of 30. But there's not a lot of shows these days where it's like where like what we would talk about on the podcast a lot, where it's just like Trey kind of searching for something in like a bunch of 8-minute songs in a row. They somehow always land in like some kind of long jam. And I don't know if that's like the Tab stuff rubbing off or if it's just like where they are, but that's really not normal.
Yeah.
For the past 10 years.
Right. It's just I don't know. It's just such they can get places so easily, and we've talked about this too. But the jams can come from nothing quickly, and then they can go to another place within 5 or 7 minutes, and that's kind of really exciting when it gets extended for 25 minutes because you hear a bunch of different grooves and thoughts from Trey and the
Yeah.
band. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of shit for saying that that's the best they've ever been. But now when you get, at least one 25-minute jam every night, like, I don't know,
yeah.
it feels more true now than ever. And speaking of 25, we've been talking for 25 minutes and I feel like we've hit a lot of different grooves also. Don't you think?
I hope so. I hope so. Right.
Yeah. All right. So one thing we should say while we're on, Brett, is that next weekend in Vegas, we'll be doing 2 live shows. One on Saturday the 30th at 1 p.m. local time, and then Sunday the 31st, 1 p.m. local time at the Brooklyn Bowl. And we're going to be doing this up on stage again, which that'll be pretty fun.
I thought it was the 29th and the 30th.
Yeah.
So we might be
Well,
there then.
we might be there. Well, it'll be no, but I got it. I promise.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen for Halloween? Do you care to hypothesize?
I don't think they'll cover another album. I just don't get that feeling. I think it'll be something original again. Maybe more theatrical with maybe more of with just more than the 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But not a cover. That's
Yeah,
I mean that's as deep as I can get right now.
I do not disagree with you. Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting. I feel like there's not going to be another wingsuit set, right, where they just like come out and play new material. Like
Right.
if they
Right.
do original stuff, it's going to be more along the lines of Casbah Box, right?
Right.
Something crazy and interesting, which I think is cool.
I
I'd be
think
shocked if they covered like Led Zeppelin or another
yeah.
album.
I don't think
I feel
there's
like
a
they're
lot of
kind of
talk.
beyond it.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of talk of the Pink Floyd. I also think they've covered all the albums that they've really wanted to. You know what I mean? Like I think nothing is probably sticking out to them, and Trey would much rather write new stuff and right. He's always
Yeah,
writing new stuff, so he's got a bunch of stuff to play.
I assume he has hundreds of new songs that we haven't heard yet. Like always,
At least, maybe thousands.
maybe thousands. It'd be crazy if it was a 1,000-song album. It'd be really surprising. So I'll see you next Friday because I'm coming in on the 29th.
Yes.
And just so you know, logistically, I just put your 28th tickets in the mail today, so you should get
Hell
them in
yeah.
a couple of days.
Sweet.
Part of my morning adventure. And now that we have everyone watching, we can just talk
Thank
about
you.
other logistical things. So I'll see you at the hotel on the 29th, and then we'll go to the
I'll be
concert.
there. I'm planning on being there the 28th. And,
Yes.
And
Hope for
then
the
we'll have
best.
fun.
Hope for the best. Anything else, Brad? Any other observations you want to share? Anything we didn't talk about yet?
No. I know that Sam thinks I'm looking bad, but it's not. Sam, it's 10 a.m. here, so leave me alone.
I want Sam, if you want to come on right now, we'll see how you look, and we'll do a head-to-head, you and Brad, and we'll let the audience vote on who looks better right now. Let's do it. America's next
Awesome.
top podcast person. Brad, what was your favorite moment of the night?
The hood. Yeah, with my kids, and
Nice.
hopefully one day they'll look back on it and feel it was important. Because I
Yeah.
don't think they feel that way right now.
I'm sure they will. That's a cool moment to share.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it, and it was a really good version. All right, I'll see you next week, and thanks for joining, and thanks everybody out there for checking us out. And tune in. I guess that's tomorrow because we're going to be talking about Chula Vista tomorrow at 1:00, which is
It's happening.
Man,
yeah,
it's all happening. It's all happening very fast. They
Epic
keep playing
Saturday
these
Night
shows.
Tweezer. I think
Something's got to happen.
something's gonna break
So they haven't played Tweezer yet, right?
in the fall, right?
In the fall. So that's got to be happening. It's got to be happening.
Has
That
to.
was my prediction for you last night. So now it's my prediction again for you, for Brian.
Yes.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks everybody
Thanks
for
for
tuning
having
in.
me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.